form of siren, whether it's on a police motorbike, whether it's on an ambulance or a fire tender, it is going to attend to an emergency. That's why the siren is blaring. So once we hear any form of siren, what we have to do as citizens who are using the road is to create access for the siren, the vehicles or whichever medium has the siren to come and pass and go attend to whatever emergency that they are going to attend to. If this had happened, maybe some way, somehow, we would have been able to save the situation. It's unfortunate that we have lost several millions of dollars out of this fire in this particular location, and it's sad.
Have you met owners of this facility yet?
The owners, I'm told, are out of the country, but their workers and representatives are here. We have spoken to them. We'll try as much as possible to, as early as feasible, speak to the investors and be able to calm them and offer them the nation's support. These are foreign nationals who have come to invest in our country. They employ hundreds of employment for our youth. It's the end of the month. About 300 staff of this place are supposed to be paid tomorrow or the next day. If you look at the liability, it is going to be difficult for them to pay salary, and that's a huge burden for government and our people. So we'll do whatever we have to do to assist them, if possible, to come back.
What do we know about casualty?
We have not had any casualty. The fire department was able to evacuate all the staff, all the workers were, with the help of bystanders, were able to evacuate all of them. We don't have any casualty on hand. What we have is the losses that we are suffering as a result of the inability to deal with the fire. We have lost everything that they have within their warehouse and in their shops.
All right, Sammy, so that's the Kumasi Mayor, Richard Ofori Bwediajiman, popularly called Zuba, the Kumasi Mayor. He's here, and you heard him. He says that he has met the owners of the representatives or the managers here, or the caretakers, if I should put it, who are here at the office or the mall manning the place here. And so far, he has been engaging with them, and he's so worried about the human activity that is hindering the efforts by fire officers to try and douse the flames here and also bring the situation under control. Let's try and speak to the regional commander of the Ghana National Fire Service, so who is still engaging his men on the strategies being put in place to at least bring the situation under control, because the fire keeps spreading. And from where I stand, the combustibles are just reigniting the fire, and also the blasts. We don't know the kind of equipment that are there. Commander, you are welcome to Channel 1 TV.
Thank you.
How did you get to know about this incident?
We were called. Our regional control was called at 3:19 hours. They dispatched the first tender at 3:20 hours. They got here at 3:31 hours. And when they got here, the fire was at its developed stage. When you say developed stage, then it means the whole building was engulfed already before we got here. Other 3 fire tenders were invited in to help in fighting the fire. The unfortunate thing was that the combustible materials that they sell here, deal with, are highly combustible. Apart from that, the building itself, the materials used are very highly combustible. Yes, you can see the intensity of the fire. If you go around the building, you see that, 1, there are so many cracks on the walls. 2, the walls have tilted, which means the construction and the intensity of the fire is very much enormous. What we heard also was that the fire was noticed when they were on break. I don't know when they go on break. Yes, so people who are around notice it and they try to fight it. But I think it went beyond them. Looking at the combustible materials. On the first floor, they sell this sitting room furniture. These are upholsteries material, which fire, when it's involved in fire, it spread very fast. Yes, so it spread very fast, so they have to abandon and call fire service. as to when the fire actually started, they are yet to tell us when it started. And when they call us, they call the control at 15, 19 hours. Yes.
All right. So, was that hindering effort or that hindrance that is maybe making your work difficult here?
Availability of water. It's availability of water. That's what we want. The nearest fire hydrant we learn is around beyond. He said Mekom, Ahunjo Mekom. I learned that is where the fire hydrant is, and I don't know how with this, even at this traffic, how you can move in there as far as possible. Yes, so fire hydrant or water availability of continuous flow of water is our hindrance here.
So initially you were trying to contain the fire from the frontage. Now I can see your engines are moving to the back of the. What's the plan?
We are not. It is not. When we came, the engines came. One was positioned there. You get me? To cut the whole area. But as I said, when we arrived here, the whole place was engulfed. Yes, engulfed.
Okay. So, but do you know the cause yet?
No, we don't know. We don't know.
All right. So that's the Ashanti Regional Fire Officer, ACFO Peter Tete, who is still coordinating efforts here with other agencies like the NADMO and also some officials of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, who also have their mayor himself been represented here. And then we can see one other fire engine that is coming in. Some of the fire engines have been taken to the back end. That's what we just heard from the commander. The kind of strategies they are ensuring that they want to put in place to ensure that the situation is brought under control. But I've also seen the workers here who are Chinese nationals who are so distraught on their faces. Maybe our camera will just capture that so you can see them seated there, trying to just helpless, banking all their hopes on the fire officers to try and bring the situation under control, because they are not able to pick anything. Most of the items here, we are told, have been reduced to ashes. And then the whole building is on fire, and that is the situation here. Onlookers also, because the place is fenced, onlookers have been, so the sound there just coming from the where the fire is still burning. You have the smoke still billowing from the area. The fire is being reignited as a result of the combustibles that are found in the building itself here. And we just had that confirmation from the Ghana National Fire Service, and that also is hindering efforts in fighting the fire, because it's reigniting the fire situation here, and the fire officer is still trying to map out some strategies to try and then bring the situation under control. So let's try and see if we can get the managers of this facility who were here when the incident started. So I doubt if they will be able to speak English for us, but I can also speak Chinese. So okay, so they are moving away from our camera. Okay, they are told to move away. Hello, madam, can we talk to you? All right, okay, so she's not willing to speak to us. So the owners of the shop here or the mall here, you see them moving away, shying away from the camera. But it's still an effort that is being made by the Ghana National Fire Service. So there are three things that are hindering the firefighting efforts here. One is the combustibles that are in the main building that is reigniting, or that are reigniting the fire here. And 2 is the human activity, the siren blaring, and people are not willing to give way to the fire engines to come. And the other one is the fire tender or the fire hydrants that they are not able to access very close hydrants within the Santasi area. They have to go to Ahunjo, and it's very far from this place, and there's traffic all over town within the Kumasi metropolis. So the fire officers are still making efforts. The commander is still giving some orders, trying to coordinate efforts, his men, to try and bring the situation under control. So you see onlookers outside of the fence of the mall that is currently on fire, and the efforts are still being made. Fire officers still trying to bring more engines, trying to bring the situation under control. I don't know if you can speak to this gentleman, if you are here when the incident happened. Did you witness this incident when it started?
Of course, my brother, I witnessed everything from start to finish.
What happened?
Of course, so I was coming from Christian Service University. I just finished my presentation, so I set off to go home. So I was actually with a colleague, as you saw us earlier. So we got at the back of the building, and we realized that there is this smoke. So we parked our car and tried to come closer to see what actually is happening. So we got there and we realized that the fire actually started from the back of the building. So like 20-30 meters away from the building, you could hear that something was just exploding. We don't know whether it is gas or anything, but things were just exploding in the building. So in about 20-30 minutes, when we were able to just move our car from that place to the main front of the building, we realized that everything is completely gone. Everything was gone.
Okay, so what was the reaction of shoppers and people who were inside when the fire started?
Of course, so when we got here, actually everybody inside has just run out. So they were all standing, across the road. So we tried even speaking with some of the staff, and they were telling us that they have over 300 staff here, and now their headache has to do with how they are able to go, how do we be able to make ends meet? Because now since the structure is down, it means that technically they've lost their jobs. So how they are going to be fed and all that is what they are thinking now.
All right, so that's an eyewitness. He saw everything when it happened initially, but there are still efforts. So he spoke about the explosion that happened initially, and we still hear that in the background from where we are. Still hear the explosions, and the fire is still spreading to other areas, and the fire officers are still trying to manage the situation. You see another tender just coming in right now, and fire officers are redirecting their efforts both to the back end of the facility and also the main entrance of the facility, trying to ensure that every effort is being made to bring down this situation under control. But the challenges are still there. The fire officers are still trying to bring down this challenge and fight the fire. So that is what we find here when you come to the Santasi branch of the China City Mall, which is on fire currently. So fire officers just brought in another tender. They are releasing the fire hose or the water hose to try and then bring the situation under control. Though their efforts seem so not yielding results, but they are trying. They mention about some of the challenges that is hampering their efforts here in trying to bring the situation under control. But they are not giving up. For the fire officer and the mayor of Kumasi, they want to ensure that the fire situation is brought down before they can leave here. And they have started this effort, and they will make sure that these efforts are going to be complete, and they would see the end to this. So if you look at the areas that have burnt out already. So you see what is left is the remnants, the metal remnants of the facilities here, the shelves where people keep their items. People who are moving into the shopping mall, they are allowed to put their items in the shelves and go in there and shop. When they come, they are given tags. When they are done shopping, then they can come with their number tags or their numbers to try and then get their belongings. All that have been raised down. So you see the fire officers there just trying to extend the fire to the area, but it's just going to be the major entrance of the mall, and the fire is still burning and it's going deep inside the center, the shopping mall area. But there's another tender has just gone at the tail end of the mall where the incident started, and this is what fire officers are doing, trying to make more effort. So you see them trying to extend their hose to the area, but you are seeing the fire being reignited due to the combustibles that are in the shopping center. So the more they put in the water to try to bring the situation under control, the more the fire is being reignited, and that is due to the nature of items that are sold here. And we got that confirmation from the fire officers. They say this is one of the reasons why they have not been able to put out the fire outrightly since they started fighting it. And you hear the Kumasi mayor also mentioned that human activities or the lackadaisical attitude of people not to even give way to the fire engines who are finding their way here at the fire station is also hampering the firefighting effort. But the efforts are still being continued here by the fire officers here. But there's a lot of traffic within the Kumasi metropolis, vehicular traffic within the Kumasi metropolis. So one would say that drivers, and it's a rush hour, drivers want to go back to their homes. Drivers want to go back to their homes, and people are not so maybe giving way to the fire engines because of the traffic situation and the road network. The road is narrow at areas where the fire engines are supposed to maneuver through and come. Even the alternative routes that the fire engines would have to use to this area, all of that have been blocked because of the nature of the vehicular traffic within town today. And it's not so good for the fire tenders or the drivers of these fire tenders who are trying to maneuver their way through to this place. Well, so the fire officers just brought in this fire tender. So this tender would have been the 8th tender to have come, or the 8th fire engine to have come to this place where the incident is happening now, the China City Mall located at Santasi within the Kumasi metropolis, where the fire officers
Live pictures from the Kumasi city, Kumasi, China city mall, where we are told of fire incidents happened some 3 hours ago. Officials from the Ghana National Fire Service trying to put out the fire. Afiz, our bureau chief there, spoke to the mayor of Kumasi as well as the regional commander of the Ghana National Fire Service. They are yet to know the cause of this fire incident. Already officials of the Ghana National Fire Service are helping to bring the fire under control. Even though they've done greater part of it, you will still see some elements of the fire within the building, and that's what they are trying to put out. You're told that the structure itself has some issue, and so getting inside or deep may bring some casualty. The more reason why the officials of the Ghana National Fire Service are doing this and just at the fringes, so they don't go deep inside the building. The Ghana National Fire Service says they have started investigations to know the cause of the fire outbreak at this particular Kumasi, China City Mall. And then when the report is ready, they will let the public know exactly what caused it. We are told that no casualties have been recorded, according to the Ghana National Fire Service and the mayor of Kumasi. Shop owners and shop attendants were, asked to leave, the building. Immediately they saw the fire, spreading to other shops within the mall. What we are seeing now is that they've been instructed to leave the building, and so they've stopped, putting water on the fire that we're seeing. I'm sure they've been directed to move to another side where you see some elements of, fire in there. And so these are officials from the Ghana National Fire Service in Kumasi trying to put out the fire at the Kumasi China City Mall, under control. Fire that started around 3 p.m. according to the Ghana National Fire Service, and has destroyed the entire mall, Kumasi China City Mall. No casualties recorded so far, according to the Ghana National Fire Service. Let's go back and speak to Hafiz, who was also giving us a narrative of what really is taking place. Hafiz, if you can hear me again, I'll take it over. Live pictures from the Kumasi China City Mall in the Ashanti region, Santasi to be precise, where about 3 hours ago there was a fire outbreak at the Kumasi City Mall, where officials of the Ghana National Fire Service are currently doing their best to put out the fire, battling with the fire, doing their best to bring the fire under control. Even though they've done greater part of it, you still see some remnants of it as they try to put the fire under control. They say that no casualty has been recorded, and they have started investigations into what really caused the fire. We're told Hafiz is back on the line to continue with the commentary and the narrative. Hafiz, if you can hear me, we see officials of the Ghana National Fire Service trying to put the fire under control. Take it over.
Well, so efforts are being done here, or are being made here to ensure that the fire is controlled. And the Kumasi mayor, Richard Ofori-Agyemang, is involved in this issue or in this effort with the fire officers, trying to ensure that things are put under control. He is giving some ideas also to the fire officers, so together they can put the situation under control. But the efforts that are being made are yielding some results. So you can see the portion where the fire officers just finished extending their hose to, they're able to ensure that the situation has been brought under control from that side. So they are changing the location. They are going to the other side where we see the fire still burning, and they would try and then bring the situation under control. So when you look straight where they are able to bring the situation under control, you see refrigerators that are in there, and you can imagine the kind of combustibles or the gas substance that you find in these refrigerators. these are some of the substances that are reigniting the fire. So the fire is also spreading through the other side. So fire officers are moving to the other side of the mall or the facility to try and bring down the fire or to douse the flames here, because that is where their hose can reach. If they mean to go deep inside the facility, it's going to be a disaster, because the fire officers themselves have identified the building to be weak, and they have observed some cracks within the fire or the facility itself. So they will not be going into that area because that is so dangerous for them, in as much as they are also working to bring the situation under control. Their lives are also important to Mother Ghana. So they are so cautious, trying to go deep inside the facility, because the combustible is still blasting and spreading through and reigniting the fire here. And the mayor also threw a caution a while ago to the fire officers, telling them to retreat from where they were being headed to, going deep inside the facility, so that they can just be careful so they don't end up becoming the casualties here, since we have heard that so far they have not recorded any casualties. So the fire officers themselves are very careful. So this area where the efforts are being centered on right now, you can see fire still burning, both at the top of the facility and also the down part of the facility. And the fire officers are still making an effort. So we are seeing the arrival of fire engines. Other fire engines are going to refill. So when they refill and they come back to this place, trying to bring the situation under control. But we are not seeing anything that can be taken from the facility here, because almost everything is down. Almost everything has been burnt to ashes. And maybe from tomorrow, the facility owners will be able to quantify what they have lost. And in terms of monetary value, they will be able to relay this information to the fire service and also the city authorities, so we can bring that to our viewers. So Sammy, if viewers joined us, we came to you from the Kumasi metropolis, where fire incident happened at the China City Mall located at Santase. Sammy Wiafe.
Hafiz Tijani, our bureau chief in the middle, about bringing us up to speed on what's happening in Kumasi. You saw live pictures of a fire incident at the Kumasi China City Mall, where we are told that no casualties have been recorded yet. That's according to the Ghana National Fire Service and the commander in the Ashanti region. This has been our live